The important reminder. To best understand my question, it's best to understand my story, so please bear with me. My story. I've been with this girl since high school. We were each other's first everything. We met in our ROTC program at school. We ended up meeting in September and started being boyfriend and girlfriend in November. We lost our virginity together not too long after that. And then after a year of being together, we ran off to Mexico, so yeah. Anyway, we come back, she is pregnant with our first child. It was hard trying to get through it because, her family, did not like me. Anyway, 2 years after we have our second child. About a year later, after dealing with her family and some BS, I had enough and left her. Not our daughter, but her. It just was not working out for me. She wanted me to stay, but I said no, didn't want to be with her. What does she do? Goes into hiding with our kids for 3 months. When I start trying to find my girls and get custody or 50-50, she hits me with a row. Her mom pushed her do that and go into a D-violence shelter. No DV was ever done by me. Anyway, I was depressed only because I missed my girls. After the judge threw it out due to lies and fails claims, we went to custody court. While going through that, she and I ended up making love a lot of times. She let me sneak into the shelter, apartment homes, and we did it. Apparently, she was talking to other guys at the time, even sent some photos of her to some guy later on. When asked, she said she didn't know if it would work out. Separation lasted 1 year. Anyway, we decided to squash everything in court and got our first apartment. She didn't know if it would work out because she was still talking to other guys, and also, she wanted me to do this way before our second child. It did not matter what she was doing. I wanted her and my family back. So, after getting our apartment, she stopped talking to the guys and cut ties and focused on me and our family. We had a great time, no fighting, no issues. We made love every day, did a lot of things as a family. Then our 3rd child was conceived. But her mom, Devil, came back into the picture. She always teared my ex like SH after we meet. Anyway, she convinced her to move back, leave our apartment, and she would help her put. So, my ex did, and I went back to my parents. But her mom only wanted her back for money. She does not work. And after her and her mom fighting, we ended up getting a second apartment. I pushed and worked for that too. Now we get into why we separated, the biggest one. Anyway, now this second apartment was more expensive but big and nice. I was working back-to-back full-time jobs. She was working and going to school. I hardly spent any time with my family due to work. We would fight a lot about money, her family getting in the way and me not being home. Anyway, we moved into my parents' place. We thought no stress, more time making love and being a happy family than fighting. Well, I ended up growing distant from her, would not make love or cuddle or spend much time with her. I was burned out from dealing with everything in the past. So she ended up cheating. To make it short, I found out and was devastated. I mean, she was sleeping with a guy. She gave up her body to a different man. That was something we had special. Anyway, I forgave her and thought we were working things out. Nope, she was still seeing him. Well, I didn't want to play games, so I went into a deep depression. She left me for that guy. Then we go to court a second time. Now she gets a second row, but during that time she breaks it. Text me, I miss you, I miss us, or let's make this work if you want. Man, I really did want this to work, but trust was gone. Anyway, she ended up dropping the order herself so we could co-parent. Now she didn't want to be with me, she wanted to be with that guy. Anyway, after long court battles and getting my 50/50 of all 3 kids, I still wanted her back. I don't know why I wanted my family back. I still had feelings. That all ended when we went to child support court. Well, I said if I'm done. I focused on my kids and was happy. Then this happened. Keep it short, the guy that she left me for, their relationship was a roller coaster on his end and hers. He cheated a lot. I don't know if she did, but he told me he thinks she was. He came to me on how to deal with her. I was like, it's your problem now. Anyway, he went back to his ex-wife in July 2020. They have not spoken since, as far as April 29, 2021, 3 years after she left me. So, in August me and her, at that time we were doing okay with co-parenting, but we ended up hooking up. We ended up being parents with benefits. It was just bonding, that's what me and her went in for. Then after that we started doing things with the kids, then romantic stuff, dates and bonding and kissing now and hugging and staying at her place a few times for weeks. I was hoping we would be getting a family again. Well, she didn't want it. There were issues, and since August till now I guess you can say broke up 3 times. She didn't want to deal with me. I called too much, thought she was cheating and using me. Anyway, from March till May 2nd things were fine. I guess. We would talk a lot on the phone and hang out and do things with the kids. Well, up until 2 weeks ago, bonding was good. But when I stay at her place, when her sister she lives with was out of town, she was distant like I was when she left for that guy. At first, I thought, she is getting it from somewhere else. But she wasn't. I know I went through her phone she uses to lock it when she cheated on me, but since August she hasn't, or sometimes leaves the phone out in the open or with me not knowing I would go through it. Anyway, nothing I saw on text, FB, Snap, IG it sings of cheating. She had a few guy friends, but she talked to them like I talked to my buddies, but small talk, not long convos or anything, and she would not reply sometimes in weeks or months, and also mostly talked to her sisters. Plus, on my days with the kids she would watch them while I go to work, and I watch them when she goes to work, and we would talk on the way to and from and during work. There was no time for guys. She used my car all the time and it had a GPS, government vehicle. See, I got her a job where I work, not the same place, just didn't want her to mess that job up. But she gets pissed, tells me I don't control her, that's what you and the last guy's name would always think I'm cheating or something, you always butt into my privacy. And so on. Okay, I did do this before, gave drama when she went on her FB when she couldn't talk to me for some reason. She got mad that last time we got into a small argument I took my car back, then we made up about 30 minutes later and we're fine. Anyway, same thing, we mad up, but then she wouldn't talk to me the rest of the week that much like we did. I guess me calling to munch when she stuck with 2 jobs, stress making rent late didn't help. And I questioned if she was seeing anyone else. Anyway, she said like she always doses when she gets mad. She said, I'm not your GF, you not my BF, we are not getting back together, you and I are just benefiting and hanging out and doing things for the kids. And she said some other hurtful things. Anyway, I'll let you go. See, I always leave her this time around the no contact rule and she comes back, apologize and so on. Anyway, we have dinner that night. After that I think things would work out, but the day after, we fight. Her van I used broke down and she was mad earlier with me, said to call, she can give me a ride. Anyway, got it working and she's off of work, and at work I said I called thinking we can talk. Nope, she didn't want to deal with me and we ended up fighting. I took my car back since we were switching. Anyway, said to her how I feel, how she treats me like a SH at times after I help with rent, kids, get her a job, put gas up the cars or help pay for things, and you say this stuff. She told me I took my car back because she would talk to me that I only do things for bonding. I told her I'm not like the last guy who saw an opportunity and used you for bonding. I do it because I care. I don't it to show you I want our family. I do it because I still love you, but if you treat me like this, then why should I do anything? Anyway, we are back to no contact, but for some reason I'm depressed like I was when we separated our second time. She now wants us to go back on this website the courts had set up to communicate with each other again. Last time we did that was in Jan 2021 and November 2020. Then we would go back to texting. Yes, our situation and how the custody of the kids work out, it can be active no contact. So, my question, no, I get to it. No contract active, no contact this time, or should I move on? Every time I do no contract, if it lasts a day, couple of days, week or weeks, I pick up or answer the first text she sends me and we are back at it again where she just keeps me there when she needs me. I feel like I'm 1. A rebound after the rebound, the guy she left me for. 2. I'm just there when she wants me, seasonal. 3. She is just using me because I do a lot for her. I'm not going to lie, I miss how things were when we had our first apartment. I miss my family. My kids loved that we got back together. I guess in their eyes they loved having both of us there, taking them places, camping this and that, theme parks and so on. Or should I just move on? I got over her in 5 months, was happy after that with my kids. Yeah, I missed her but was happy. I hate to go through this again. Though she misses me. Does she think of me? Could she move on? I know it's just hard to move on. Honestly, this is my first relationship. Part of me wants to move on, part of me wants what was there. I try to think of the good times and bad times, and there seems to be more bad times, but I feel, well, I don't know what I feel anymore. It's just when she left it was so hard. It devastated me. I couldn't stop thinking what she did, yet couldn't stop thinking what we had. Our relationship was full of issues, mostly dealing with BS from her family always getting in the way, and she to me would choose her family over ours. To the point I left her, not our kids but her, and then we got back together. About a little over 2 years ago we separated. Not our first time we separated, but our second time. And I don't mean breakups, I mean divorce and court and such. Anyway, the second time she ended up cheating on me. I feel it was my fault somewhat. I grew distant, would not be in the mood for bonding, pay attention to her, hold her at night. I just, well, after dealing with BS for 8 years, yay. Anyway, she left me for this guy. Oh man, did it hurt like hell, and yes, I was deeply depressed, mostly knowing we had a special connection together, not just kids but our virginity. It bothered me so much knowing another man was with her in bed. Even while she was with the guy, we would do everything but bonding, even doing things with the kids like she wanted to come back. Eventually I got over her, took me 5 months. Mostly after I got 50-50 of our kids, she somehow went to court for child support and won. It was like she kicked me while I was on the ground. I was still coping with the separation, but after that I focused on my kids and moved on. After that guy she left me for kept cheating on my ex and ended up leaving her. She came back, but we were parents with benefits. At first it was just bonding, we both went into it as that bonding, then I go my way, she goes her way, but after December we started doing more things with the kids together and more romantic stuff like dates, hanging out. She would want me to cuddle, then the kissing, she would kiss me. She even invited me to stay over her place a few times for weeks when her sister who she lives with was out of town. Anyway, I was thinking we could get back together. I had a taste of being a family again, but no, she didn't want a relationship. She said it was just parents with benefits. Anyway, for the past 10 months up until 3 weeks ago we had our ups and downs and small breakups 3 times where she would not deal with me but she would come back to me later. Now we are at our 4th time not dealing with each other. Also, I noticed she would just lay there for bonding or not in the mood when I was for a week at the end of April. At first, I thought she is seeing someone else but no evidence, and the fact we were always with each other and yea she would not lock her phone like she would she cheated yea I looked through her phone too and nothing. I want to move on but I can't. I'm now back in the same boat and how I felt when we separated but not as bad. I feel like was I a rebound for the rebound or she was just using me. I feel like she does not know what she wants. I feel like she wanted to get back but didn't know if it would work. Two things are hard for me to forgive her. One, she kept me away from my kids for 3 months after our first separation in court. Two, she cheated. I forgave her yet part of me doesn't really forgive and if we ever got back would not trust her. Also, would she come back? She seems to every time. Also, when I do not contact every time she leaves me she comes right back but I'm the sucker to answer the first call or text thinking things would work out but it never does. That's what I'm doing right now. Side note, she tried to get a restraining order against me for no reason other than to keep me away when she left but she ended up breaking it when she would call or text saying she missed me and us and wanting to work it out but never did. She ended up dropping the order. Just wanted to add that. About a little over 2 years ago she ends the relationship and right away I mean less than a week gets into a relationship with this guy and she already had feeling for him. Yeah, they knew each other from a class they had together and I have a feeling that she cheated on me with him. This guy though saw an easy target just to get in her pants. She always talked about the issues she had with me. He always said the right things to her to get her back when she would pull away. Anyway, that relationship lasted a little over 2 years but they broke up 10 times and there were a lot of issues and fights between them and he always cheated on her with other women and even his ex-wife. Yeah, my ex also I guess you can say cheated on him with me. We did everything. He then left my ex for his ex-wife karma you can say. Anyway, after he left her, she was lonely and hit me up. Right away we started a parents with benefit relationship that turned well to me a more than just bonding buddies. I mean we went on a lot of romantic dates and more kissing and hugging and cuddling and doing things with the kids a lot together. That lasted 10 months. Yeah, we had times when she did not want to deal with me but when I did no contact she came back. So now she is in a new relationship with some guy at her job. I just got her at the beginning of this month of May. This guy is already saying he loves her and he is liking all her Instagram photos, even old ones, and making comments. She also made comments on his stuff like looking good babe. So, my question is she in a rebound relationship again? I mean these two only knew each other for 2 weeks and I'm thinking they work in different areas of her job. Also, she has our kids 50% of the time. Like how do you the guy tell her in a message that you love her if you hardly know her? Unless he is like the last guy and just sees an easy target to get in her pants. He is also a bodybuilder, loves to work out a lot, so how would he have time for her when she has to take care of the kids? Like I hear that single guys with no kids don't usually go with single mothers, maybe if they have 1 or 2 kids, but she has 3 and they are 7, 4 and 3. Is she using him as a rebound? I noticed she could never be alone. Just look, when she went back with me after the last guy left her, she knew I was always there. Or was I the rebound after the rebound? Or is she just a crap? Now my concern is that she will bring him around our kids way too fast. That last guy, remember I said when she would pull away, he doses and said all the right things to get that as back. He pressured her to being around our kids and she told me once she wasn't ready but she did anyway. I'm now worried about my kids. She does not know this guy. No way you can find out about someone in 2 weeks. You don't know who he is, what he is. Like she found out from me that the last guy she was with had a daughter he never told her about with his ex-wife. I look at my ex and she gets guys really quick but notice they just use her for bonding. And these guys are guys with no kids and wonder well who would date or even get in a relationship with me, and then I have 3 kids. Part of me wants to date, part of me doesn't. The part that does wants someone to find someone I could have a relationship with and be happy and accepts me for who I am and my children. And I don't want to be alone for too long because when the kids aren't with me, I'm depressed, sad, it's quiet and alone. Also, yeah, I have needs and well, you know, bonding. I have never been with anyone other than my ex, and even after the split we were FWB. But that grew into something more, but yay, that didn't work out and I don't want to even use her as a booty call just because yay. The part that doesn't, well, for starters, I always put my children first no matter what. I'm not like their mom who would put them to the back of the line. I have been taking care of my children most of the time, even though we have 50-50. I have had them on their mom's days and don't want to take attention away from them. They need me more than ever since the separation. 2, after there my ex cheated on me and then later just breadcrumb, booty call, lied, and so on. I feel it's hard to trust anyone. My heart was broken 2 times by my ex and I'm afraid to get it broken again by someone else. 3, like I said before, I never been with anyone else. Me and my ex were each other's first everything, so I don't even know how to date. And it's not like high school anymore, so I don't even know where to start. I have a dating account, some dating apps, and no luck. Yeah, I do state I have children. I feel it's wrong to not state that upfront. I'm not like my ex. But I also feel it scars women off. I notice the photos I put up are of me and my kids, or should it just be me and I state that I have kids, or should I just hide it and then bring it up later? 4, who would date someone my age and 3 kids? I don't mind dating single mothers, but even with them I have no luck. And no, I will not be going back to my ex. I'm not going to be her fallback or her booty call, someone she could use. Since July of 2017, me and my ex were in a parents with benefits relationship after she left me 2.5 years ago. After she left me for some guy, the guy she cheated on me with. The relationship she had with that guy lasted 2 years. They broke up 10 times. He also cheated on her, then left her for his ex-wife. Then right after we started seeing each other. At first it was just bonding to both of us, but then things got more serious, more romantic, more dates, kissing and hugging. More doing things with the kids together. That lasted 10 months up until May 4th, 2021, when she ended it again after I took my car back. I was letting her use after she said some hurtful things and well-being wallaby, and after she said she would rather sleep with someone random than to be in a relationship with me. I was doing a lot for her, helped her with her rent, she helped with the kids on my days while I worked. I did the same while she worked, let her use my car, put gas into it so she had a more reliable car for work and to transport the kids, got her a job, took her on dates and so on. So, after a week when my ex decided to again end our whatever you call relationship, we had the parents with benefits, she gets into a new relationship with a guy at the job that I got her. This guy left a voice message, don't ask how I know, I'm the one that got her the phone and set it up. Anyway, this guy left a message and at the end stated, "Good night, I love you." I was like, WTF. Wow, she jumped into this relationship fast, just like the last one. A lot of things went in my mind. One who loves someone after only knowing them for 2 weeks. Also, when did he have the time to get to know my ex? She had the kids that week. Also, this guy is a bodybuilder, loves the gym and working out. Like, out of all the girls you have on your FB and Instagram, you chose a woman with baggage, a woman with 3 kids. But then it hit me, maybe he is just using her like the last guy. The last guy said anything to get in her pants, even saying he would marry her after the first month she left me when she was pulling away from me and missing me and the kids, but then backtracked once he got her closer. Yeah, well, I got bit by the snake a second time but won't get bit a third time. I feel like used. I mean, I forgave her the first time, wanted to work things out. She ended up still going to Bernie, the last guy, but when he left and we started parents with benefits and more, I just felt, man, we were getting close, maybe we can work this out. But no, she was just stringing me along. It took me 5 months to move on after she left 2.5 years ago. It was a painful experience, it was depressing. I wouldn't say I was fully over because I allowed her to come back, but I was like, whatever about it. What helped me move on was that after we got over 50 of our kids, she somehow was awarded child support. Like, wow, you kicked me while I was already on the ground. Still was getting over the breakup, also spending a lot, and I mean a lot of time with my kids since then, and now their mom doesn't want to deal with them. Our kids see that she puts these guys before them. I'm madder and more pissed off at myself knowing if I got back with her it would hurt again. I mean, it's not as bad as before, I'm not putting it to my head, but it sucks. I should not miss my ex, I should not still love my ex, but it's hard not to. Maybe in time, maybe just thinking how fed up she was to me would help. Yes, every time they broke up, no idea who broke up with who first, but yes, they broke up 10 times. If I recall, how do I know? She came to me and would tell me all the issues they had, which I have no idea why when she left me for that guy. Her friends, even her family who hates me, told her the same thing, that this guy was a trash cheater and he was just using her, which he was. Yeah, her family who hates me told her in front of me and the new guy at a party that they like me more and she needs to get rid of the other guy. Also, I have no idea why in God's name Bernie, the guy she was with, would come to me on how to deal with my ex. He wouldn't know what to do with her. He even asked me if I thought she was cheating on him, which I mean she was, I know, with me up, then bonding, and yeah, me and Bernie thought there was a third guy. When we started seeing each other again, it was after Bernie left her in July 2020. Kids. They were our kids when I was talking about. We have 3. After our first 2 daughters, I left the relationship, not our kids, but her, due to BS and just so much hit and abuse from her, physical, verbal, and emotional abuse. Even her family treated me like hit. When I left, that's when she decided to go to a DV shelter just because her mom told her to. She ended up keeping me from my girls for 3 months. After I went to court to fight for custody, she hits me with my first temp restraining order, and reason she said she got it was for her to get over me so she wouldn't have a reason to contact me. Yeah, I know. Anyway, the judge tossed it out, and that's when we ended up getting back together the first time. Honestly, she used bonding to get me back because I was done with her, just cared about my girls. Anyway, after court we got our first apartment, and that's when our son came to be. Long story short, after 2 years we were back in court. She cheated and the process started again, and a second temp restraining order placed, then dismissed. She broke her own order by texting and calling with "love yours" and "miss you" and so on. No, I didn't get her a free car. I offered for her to use my car. She never asked, so that she had a reliable car to go to work, and since she was helping me out watching the kids on my days, I didn't want our kids to be in that van. Could not open any doors other than the driver. Not only that, but I did a lot of nice things for her, helped her out when she was in a hole, whether it be financially, emotionally, or so on. Yes, helped her with rent once just because I did not want my kids to end up on the street, and yes, I got her a job with my company, even paid her license. It would help me by getting out of child support. Anyway, she started treating me like she calling me names and said some hurtful things, so I told her it was enough. I'm taking my car back and explain why. Now that's how this crap all started. She is living this lifestyle. The fire we met. No, she was never like this. I mean, she was 16 when she had our first daughter. I was 17. This lifestyle she lives is like she is single, but she lives like she singles with no kids, if you know what I mean. She seems like she wishes she didn't have kids anymore. Unlike the dad in Full House, the way he was with his kids and how involved he was, way opposite of what she is. You mean this isn't the first self-centered, high-maintenance, emotionally abusive woman you've let manipulate and control you? Seems like it's time for you to figure out how to choose and respond differently, doesn't it? Answer yes, and you let her back in. My friend, that was not her fault, it's all on you. Answer yes, now I see it's my fault, I just thought things would be different. Weeks later, I was with this girl for 8 years and have 3 kids with her together. About almost 3 years ago she cheated and left me for some guy named Bernie. That guy ended up leaving her for his ex-wife. He also could not put up with my ex too. They broke up 10 times in 2 years. How do I know? My ex and him would come to me with the issues they had with each other. Yay weird. After she jumped into another relationship with some guy named Sergio. Again, he couldn't out up with her. After that second guy she sucked me back in and we were FWB, except it became more than just that. That lasted 10 months. I couldn't put up with her and I finally found out why. She is a narcissist. I look back on all the abuse, physical, emotional, mental, and verbal, the lying, cheating, and so on I endured with her. That's when, after 11 years of knowing her, I found out and learned she was a narcissist. So, after I discarded her, she jumps into a new relationship a week after with a guy named Julio, 27-year-old, at her job that I just got her. Yay, I got her a job. After only knowing each other for 2 weeks, he leaves a voice message on her phone saying at the end that he loves her. Don't ask how I know, I just know. I was at first depressed, sad, and confused. I was also like, this guy loves bodybuilding and all about gym life. What guy like him with no kids, single, get with a 24-year-old single mother of 3? Then that's when I found out she was a narcissist and looked at it and said in my mind, Julio, good luck, buddy. So, I stopped giving 2 cents about her. Well, after a month of knowing this guy, and yes, they did not know each other before that, she brings him around our 3 kids. Right off the bat, she told our kids ages 7, 5, and 3 that this guy is her new BF. And on top, on the first day, she leaves our kids alone with him. You know what he told my 5-year-old daughter? I'm going to marry you, mommy, and be your new daddy. You can see how big of a red flag all of this is. My daughter told me she doesn't like him. She felt sad. So again, last week my ex shows off her ring while her new BF is there to my kids and basically tells them her and Julio are getting married. So again, I have to help my children cope with it. Bernie also told my ex he was going to marry her after a month. He was all talk though. My ex brought Bernie around our kids after a month, but it was always her friend Ladder the kids caught on. Bernie always said to me that I'm their father, not him. I also found out by him my ex kept pushing him to be around the kids when he really didn't want to. So, my few questions are as stated. What the hell is going on with my ex? What person marries after a month? Why do narcissists do all of this as I described? How can I help our kids cope with this? All of this is not going to end well, is it? This guy has to have red flags all over him, or is it me? Is this guy a narcissist too? Update. My ex left our daughter alone for 8 hours with her new BF. So, I get word from my oldest daughter, since she is out of school, my ex had no one to watch her on her day while she had to go to work. So, what does she do? She leaves her with her new BF she only known for a month at his resistance. My daughter said they were in his room playing Minecraft. His room alone with our daughter. What is wrong with my ex? Does she think or care about their safety? So, I tried to talk to her about it and tell her this is not okay. Maybe after 6 or 9 months knowing him, bring him around the kids, not left alone with him, but a month, and you already leave him alone with our kids after this guy a week before told our kids he was going to marry you and be their new daddy on the first day he met them after only knowing you for a month. Anyway, my ex said it's her life, she can do as she pleased, and blamed me again. Like, woman, I have a job, I work during the day just like you. I had to find a job and babysitter, family, that works with our 50-50 custody. Yeah, she blamed me for all of this. It's my fault because I couldn't watch them on her days. I would if she hadn't used me in the past and ended up abandoning them on me while still collecting child support. Anyway, I finally text this new guy to express my concerns and let him know my role and his role with me and my ex's kids. I also told him if he hurts my kids, I will take legal action. He said he understands and that he will protect the kids. Bro, that's my job. Then he went on how my ex does not love me and that she is all hers. I said I don't care, you put up with a cheater, since I and the last 4 guys couldn't put up with her. I'm just talking about my kids. He then continues to say my ex is all his and calls me pathetic and I have no ambition in life. Basically, I'm a low life. Bro, you don't know me. On top of this, so now my ex is having me deal with her new boyfriend when it comes to co-parenting with her. He is basically calling the shots how things will happen, going to be, and what I am to do in regards with our kids. Bro, stay the crap out of me and my ex's business. He is trying to act like he is the father, going so far as watching our daughter alone at his place. My comment: people handle divorce differently. Some people will jump into another relationship quickly, but it ends up being a rebound if they are not emotionally sound. Some people find it very hard to leave the normalcy and routine of married life and go back to being single, so the first guy that comes and asks marriage, they go for it. I really wouldn't care what she did on that end of things. What I do care about is there are kids involved. This kind of behavior is not good for kids. You have to ease them into a new relationship because all they see is mommy and daddy, and they don't process the new guy and the new relationship like adults. That was a very selfish move on her part.